Hi gang, this is Dr. Swanson. Let's talk about the first topic area for COMM 362. The first topic area is strategic writing in organizations. Now, you may have thought we're going to start into this class and get to the computer keyboard and just start writing right off the bat. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. We got to hold up just a minute. Because before we write for any organization, we need to know who are we writing for, what are we writing, why are we writing it, the people that we're writing to, what do they already know? What do they want to know? What do they not know? What kinds of assumptions do they make? We have to answer these kinds of questions. We have to have a plan here. And it has to be a plan based on some gathering of information. Let's call it research. We have to have a thoughtful plan, because if we don't, I used the example of the musician in my introductory YouTube. If you don't have a plan, it's just like a musician who sits down at the piano keyboard and goes, they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know why they're doing it, and they don't know who's in the audience, and they don't know anything. And so public relations writing has to be thoughtful, it has to be strategic, it has to have a plan, and you have to step back and answer those questions about what am I doing and why am I doing it and who am I doing it for and these kinds of things. And that's where strategic writing in organizations goes. You need to know about the organization that you are writing for and perhaps writing about. So let me run down my list of things here that's important. I have typed notes in the topic 1 area, so you've got notes to refer to that run parallel with this conversation we're having here right now. And the chapter readings are laid out in the calendar. Make sure you read the chapter readings in the order that I put them in there, because that's the best way to do this. Don't just start at the beginning of the book and read to the end, because there are some sections in the book that aren't necessary for this class. Most of it is, but there are some sections that aren't necessary, and I've put the readings in the order that I want you to read them. Okay, pages 1 through 5, strategic writing overview. Oh, and by the way, this is a pretty brief book, As classes go, this book is pretty brief. And we, the faculty, have adopted this book because we like it that way. We don't want you to be buried in readings. So use that to your advantage here. Pages 1 through 5, strategic writing overview. Why are we writing? What is strategy? What is a thoughtful purpose? What are some basic ways to tighten up our writing? Essentially, one of the things I want to do in this class is I want to change your brain. And here's how I want to change it. Throughout your college experience and before, you have been given these assignments of stuff to write that you weren't particularly interested in. And the teacher would say, I want 10 pages on this. And so that puts your brain into bullshit mode. Bullshit mode means you're going to fill 10 pages. So you end up writing really long, flowery sentences. You say the same things over and over again to fill the 10 pages. We're not going to do that in here. I don't want you to be in bullshit mode. I want you to be in short, concise, thoughtful, strategic mode. You'll hear me say it again and again in here. Don't use a single unnecessary word. Not one. Don't use a single unnecessary word. I want your writing to be thoughtful. I want it to be complete. But I want sentences to be short. And I want them to be pithy. I don't want them to be weird. I want them to be short, succinct, complete, clear, pithy. There's a balance here, and we're going to work on that balance for these 5 weeks. So, why are we writing? What's the thoughtful purpose? Some basic ways to tighten up your writing. The compelling story. What is the compelling story here? You're going to be returning to that again and again and again with everything you write in this class. So embrain those words. What is the compelling story? Even something as brief as this, you can't see it. This is a flash drive. It's a promotional tool. Even this, in that little bit of copy on there, there's a compelling story there. So a compelling story doesn't have to be huge. All right, pages 6 through 10, the writing process. Focus on those. The writing process is really important. That's how we put this together in this class. Pages 21 through 23, strategic design. I want you to think a little bit about visually what written work looks like on the screen or on the page. You can write good copy, and if it's ugly on the screen, nobody's going to read it. You can write a great copy for a web page and people go to it and it's ugly, they won't stay. So there has to be some visual thought to this, some balance, some design issues. That's not really what this class is about, but you still have to be thinking about that. Pages 37 through 39, jobs in strategic writing, that's important. What are you going to do when you get out of here? What are you going to do when you get done with this experience? Jobs are important, and this class is to prepare you for a job. So I want you to think about that a little bit. And then the assignments this week are the team-based memo on civility, and then there's an individual memo, the coworker memo. So we're going to be working on memos this week. So pages 225 to 229, memos. Do some searching on the internet to look at memo formats and read about memos. Make sure you have this book. If you don't have this book, you won't get through this first week of the class. Got to have it. Older edition. This is a 2012 book, so it's not like brand new. It doesn't cost $1,000. You can probably find a used copy on Amazon pretty quickly. And you can rent a copy from the bookstore if you want to do that. So those are the kinds of things that we're getting at this week. The organizational perspective beyond what we write, and then in the two memos that you're writing, you got to be thinking about the organization that you're writing on behalf of. That team-based memo occurs within the organization of Cal State Fullerton. You already know a lot about that, so think about it. What are the kinds of things you're going to want to put in that memo, and what are you not going to want to put in it? You're sending that memo to a very busy person. She doesn't want to read a lot of BS. She wants to get a message clearly, concisely, so that she can act on it. Make sure you do that in that memo. And then the coworker memo, that's a memo that you would be writing as an individual to help somebody out. How are you going to help them out? In a short, clear, concise way. You're writing to the coworker to help them improve their writing. So you got to write it pretty well. Because you write a sloppy memo to somebody to tell them to improve their writing, what standard are they looking at? Slop. And they're not going to improve if they see slop. One thing I also want you to do as we start this class, look at the assignment evaluation guide. It's posted in titanium. That'll give you an idea exactly how I review your assignments. Down at the bottom of that assignment evaluation guide, there's a list of bulleted items. These are the places where people lose points. You don't want to lose points. Also, I want you to look at the common copy errors handout. There's a handout in titanium called Common Copy Errors. That's a list of the mistakes I see most often. I see them over and over and over and over again. Even though I've been using common copy errors for years, people still make those same mistakes. They lose points. Why would they do that? I don't know. I don't know. My granddaughter would say that. I don't know, Grandpa. I don't know. If I give you a document that shows you the mistakes people make most often that I take points off for all the time, wouldn't you use that document to not make those mistakes? You would think so. In the spring class, final exam, I took off a bunch of points on things that were in the Common Copy Errors document. I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, before I get too crazy, that's it for Topic Area 1, Strategic Writing and Organizations. Let me know how I can help. I'll be in the classroom every day. Look forward to hearing from you as we move on into the class. Thanks.